All right, so we're going to talk about a hurricane and some other stuff. Hi, everybody, by the way. Thanks for those of you who are joining us live on Patreon. I want to talk about something that Governor Ned Lamont said today, Al. So you familiar with Governor Ned Lamont?
Yes, I'm aware of him. Yes, he's the governor of the Nutmeg State, in fact.
Correct. He is the governor of Connecticut, also the Constitution State. And for some reason, he had a big debate yesterday where Bob Stefanowski, who's his Republican challenger, really wiped the floor with him. And today, Ned Lamont got in front of his Twitter, in front of his grand piano and a plaque that shows old baseball players, and said this.
Last night I tuned in to watch Aaron Judge see if he could break Roger Maris's home run record. Instead, I saw the Toronto Blue Jays walk him 4 straight times. Nothing more boring than watching a home run hitter get walked over and over again. New rule, let's try this out. You walk a slugger like Aaron Judge once, he takes first base. You walk him twice in the same game, he gets first base and second base. Walk him 3 times in a game, you get the idea. And you walk him 4 times like Toronto did last night, you might as well pitch to him. It's the equivalent of a home run. Let the batter bat. What say you?
All right, I don't know how familiar you are with baseball, but what is your analysis of that?
I'm not that familiar with baseball, but I think it would be weird if the pitcher threw 4 balls and like the batter got a home run. I don't think that would make a ton of sense.
Well, right. Okay, so a couple of things. One, I don't know why he devoted 36 seconds to talking about the Yankees home run hitter.
Mm-hmm. Is he a Yankees fan?
Yeah, half of Connecticut's Yankees fans.
Right, I figured it's like split.
So it seems odd to me that he even spent the time to do it. But if you are going to do it...
Well, he's put a lot of thought into that, obviously.
Yes, and that's what's worrisome. Because that's one of the most absurdly dumb takes on anything I have ever heard. Ever. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, because only, like, even if you're a really good hitter, and this is just, I'm not a baseball person at all, but I can, like, off the top of my head do some math and some probabilities here. Even if you're a really good hitter, you're only getting a hit about a third of the time, right? Like, people don't, like, a third of the time would be batting .333, and that's, like, good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So roughly a third of the time, a really good hitter is getting a hit. Like, what % of hits are home runs? You're typing to the chat. Is that so? Well, I asked what % of hits are home runs. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat knows.
Okay.
I don't know. But I would not tend to assume that it's like 1 out of every 4 hits is a single, 1 out of every 4 is a double, 1's a triple, and 1's a home run. I would assume they're not quite distributed like that. You know, I would assume that a home run is more rare.
Alice, you're overanalyzing it.
More rare than a single, right? No, but I'm talking just from purely from like a sports like probability perspective, right? Because the idea being like you're walking, like I guess what his point is, right, is that the pitcher's walking him to avoid him getting a home run to keep him on first base, right? But I don't think a quarter of the hits. So like, but if you would have the same probability.
Well, you said the pitcher's doing what?
Thank you. Morgan says 333 is really good. Yeah. So what Ned Lamont, I assume here is trying to say is that the pitcher is walking the batter.
Yes.
In order to not get a home run, in order to essentially just give him singles, right?
To walk him, yes. To give him first base.
Keep him on first base so he's not getting a home run. But even a really good hitter is only a third of the time even hitting the ball, and way less, I would assume, than a quarter of that time is getting home runs. So it really doesn't make any sense then to say that you would increase the percentage of home runs that they're getting on walks to be like a quarter. That would mean that a quarter of the walks that you give out would be home runs. That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, just from a math,
let me just tell you something.
And it's stupid, and I don't know anything about baseball at all.
You're a lady who I generally respect,
okay,
and I think you're nice. I feel dirty that you even put that much thought into it. Alice.
Well, he's obviously put a lot of thought into his...
That is, yes, and that is amazing. Let's listen again.
Last night I tuned in to watch Aaron Judge see if he could break Roger Maris's home run record. Instead, I saw the Toronto Blue Jays walk him 4 straight times. Nothing more boring than watching a home run hitter get walked over and over again.
What an amazingly simple mind. Yesterday, I tuned in to watch Aaron Judge break Roger Maris's record. Maybe that's why he tuned in to see that. The Toronto Blue Jays don't want to see Aaron Judge beat Roger Maris's record.
Right. They're actually neither team really.
Well, hold on. It's very problematic for the Toronto Blue Jays when Aaron Judge is batting because he keeps hitting home runs. And that's not good for the stats of the pitcher or the team. It gets all the fielders running around, and it gets Aaron Judge, rounding the bases, having driven more runs in. The Toronto Blue Jays are trying to win baseball games. They're not here to facilitate entertainment, so that something special can happen for a person.
Well, right.
They're playing the game too.
Even the New York
They'd
Yankees.
appreciate it if Aaron Judge would just simply start swinging and missing, but he's not doing that. Regardless of all the governor of Toronto wants him to do that. This is freaking ridiculous. Goes against the entire reason for competitive sports. But you know what?
Isn't there like an obsession with that in sports now? Like, I mean, maybe it's
big
always
hitters
been that
get
way.
put on. Big hitters get put on. So with David Ortiz, they would do the shift. All the batters, because Ortiz couldn't help but pull the ball, so all the fielders would move right or right field to grab the ball where he was likely to hit it. And it looked weird and disjointed, but they said, we got to get this guy out.
But it's not a home run derby. It's a baseball game. Even the New York Yankees don't so much care that he breaks the home run record, even though I'm sure they'd like him to hit home runs because that's good for winning the game.
Well, it's good box office for them, certainly.
Well, yeah, but that's not
but
why
the Blue Jays aren't here
they're
to
trying to win
facilitate.
games.
Yes, the Blue Jays aren't there to facilitate some guy's childhood pipe dreams. It's so incredible. But the fact that Lamont wants to change the system so that a special thing can happen, I mean, how equity and Karine Jean-Pierre is that?
Well, do
you know what let's do, guys? I know usually we're going to all do the right thing and try to hire the smartest person for this job. I know usually we're going to try to do the right thing and try to strike out Aaron Judge or walk him so he can't knock the ball out of the park. But for this something special, we're going to hire this idiot now instead to be the White House comms director because she's an important first. And so, I mean, it's the same vein. He's so used to doing woke identity politics, social justice-y stuff based on intersectionality that he thinks it should translate to everywhere else. To baseball. It would really make us feel good, those of us watching. I tuned in last night to see him break the record. Nobody keeps letting him break the record, but we'd feel good if we broke the record. Hire the idiot to be the White House press secretary, and everybody change the rules of baseball. Or else you get...
Well, he wants to have a historic first, right?
Right.
He wants.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be a first anymore, but it's a big one.
Well, it's breaking a record. That makes it a first, right?
Well,
it would be the first
but
time
Maris doesn't have the
many.
single season record. I don't think Maris has. Is 61 still the record? No, I didn't. McGuire and Sosa and.
How is it a record if it's not a historic first?
Because it was Maris's record. He's a famous New York Yankee.
So is it like the Yankees record?
Well, it was the world record before all the steroid people came up and broke it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, anyway, it's some kind of historic first. But, so, I mean, doesn't baseball supposedly have viewership problems? Do you think there's, any case to be made that, more home run hitting is good for baseball? But also, wait a minute, oh, Jason says it's the American League record in the chat.
Okay, so Barry Bonds. So are the A's in the National League now? No, he wasn't on the. He was in the Cardinals. McGuire, that's right. So and Bonds.
Dave says it's the non-juiced record. Yeah, which is kind of what you were saying. So, yeah, so they just want the historic first. But I mean, do you think there is a case to be made that people hitting more home runs is better for baseball? Although not that Ned Lamont's
Alice, but you don't
plan to to change the way walks work would
a case
make
to
you
be
see
made.
more home runs, because people who want to see home runs want to see the ball go up in the air and far away,
Well, there's
and
a
not
case to
just
be
see
made.
somebody go all the way around, right?
Right. Well, I mean, but there's a case to be made. That people want to see home runs. Yes, people also want to see strikeouts, and all the Toronto fans want to see strikeouts and outs and walked power hitters if that's what it takes. I mean, you don't get the home run record by having opposing pitchers toss you underhand meatballs so you can nail it out of the atmosphere. You don't. That's not how you do it. I mean, there's even Ted Williams' last at bat is a lot of people think he was throwing a meatball because he hit a homer in his last at bat, but that wasn't for the record, and that was kind of a footnote. But still, it kind of tars that a little bit that that somebody might have just thrown him a meatball. But I mean, it's just a ridiculous thing. This has me worried about like how Lamont's mind works.
Well, yeah, because and
he's thought of a punitive measure that if you start intentionally walking, which you're allowed to do. He says they're intentionally walking sluggers. Sluggers are the people you're going to intentionally walk. Look, a lot of them are slow, so you can get a double play, and a lot of them just hit the ball out of the park. That's why we have intentional walks, for the sluggers. And it's that people pitch around. You know, people try to keep the ball from Larry Bird when he was playing, you know? People try to keep the puck from Bobby Orr. It was bad news for the other team when Bobby Orr had the puck.
Isn't the walk already sort of punishment, like for throwing bad pitches?
Well, there's an intentional walk, so you can just throw 4 pitches out unhittable, and intentionally walk somebody. Some walks are not intentional, are just.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, isn't the whole idea of a walk that you need to throw into the strike zone, or the person's going to get on first base no matter what? Right, like it's to incentivize the pitcher to throw into the strike zone.
Right, so that at some point everybody can go home. Right. You know, it's like a pitch count. You get 4 bad pitches and then you're gone.
Right. So like I assume that the people who made up baseball already like thought about it and did the math on this and came up with a statistically appropriate thing to have a walk be, which is to put the person on first base, and not Ned Lamont's cute creative thing to do to punish the mean pitcher who wouldn't let Aaron Judge get his magical home run.
It's ridiculous. He tuned in to see him hit his home.
Well, sorry, Ned.
That is so. It's so. First of all, it's unmanlike. It's unsportsmanlike. It is so. It is such a progressive thing to do. We have a chance to feel good for a very special moment tonight. Come on, guys. Remember, like, this spate of things has started happening like 10 years ago where the team started letting other teams, like a disabled kid in the other team win, or a special need kid win or something, which is like a heartfelt, very teary-eyed, viral thing to watch in video. Mm-hmm. But you can't have a civilization if you're doing that all the time. You can't. You know, the game...
Well, yeah, and it's one thing to do that at, like, middle school football games.
Right.
But professional athletes are trying to actually win games.
Yes.
Professional sports is professional sports for a reason.
Yeah, it's just.
But yeah, I do.
And he had his video guy,
because you've put a lot of thought into that plan.
It's
if
obviously
you have that much to say about it.
Yeah, he's obviously, this is obviously a wink to the bedroom community people in Southern Connecticut, who are Yankees fans and live close to New York, etc. But it's still like if Charlie Baker did this about the Red Sox, it would seem like, as a Red Sox fan, if we really were Red Sox fans, we'd be like, don't say that. It's embarrassing.
Well, I like what Dave said in the chat. He said the whole video is cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very... As somebody who's not a sports fan, it doesn't come across to me like somebody who is a sports fan.
Ugh.
But, yeah.
Uh-oh.
So how did the debate go with Bob Stefanowski and Ned Lamont?
It was great by Stefanowski. Lamont seemed, first of all, he looked like a wet cat. He looked miserable and uncomfortable and nervous. He had no depth in any of his answers. He was it was a bunch of decoy answers. And
Are they having more debates?
One more. Stefanowski was absolutely Great. Every issue, he had a depth of knowledge. He just ran circles around him. He is a policy wonk guy. And so Stefanowski was there having fun. Lamont was there and miserable.
Interesting. Well, I hope he sees a bump in his polls and everything. I don't know. Here in Massachusetts,
I like to say, Alice, that there's only one poll that counts. And guess what day that's on?
Election day.
Yep.
Guess how many polls we're having not polls. Guess how many debates we're having in Massachusetts?
Is it one?
One.
That's
it's on
pathetic.
October 20th. Early voting starts October 22. And I think you can even start like your mail-in ballot process even before that. And so early voting starts October 22 and the debate is October 20th. And then like another 2 weeks later, it's the election and it's done. But yeah, how ridiculous a process is that? It's unbelievable. And I know all the Democrats this year are like avoiding debates on purpose. Like John Fetterman's doing it too.
Yeah, he's not having one, is he?
I think he's just not doing it. And a bunch of people aren't. I think the lady in Arizona who's against Carrie Lake isn't doing it either. Like there's a bunch of them. And Carrie Lake is actually like in a good position in the polls.
Yeah.
Some polls even have her up a little bit. So I don't know what they're thinking. Like, I think it's going to backfire for them, especially because this presidency is so terrible.
Oh,
right now.
man.
What?
And just looking at this coverage of Florida. Holy hell.
Yeah, so we do have a few listeners out there in Florida. Dave, who's in the chat right there, is, I believe, in Florida currently.
Yeah, and
Paul from
Florida Cadet is reporting, guys, if you're able to. I don't even know if they have power. I can't see how anybody could have power. Jesus.
Yeah, but the videos that are coming out of there, the streets filled with water, like more than 6 feet high, are just crazy videos. It's really like Katrina-like images of everything just all flooded. Yes.
He went on this tirade today on Twitter talking about, there was some video of like Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel or wherever he works now, and like other people doing live stand-up outside, and they're blowing around or whatever, and Concha says, this is ridiculous. People will get hurt. There are flying objects there that can kill people. They should not be doing this. They should not be suggesting people go outside. Like, Concha's an odd dude, because I like him, and I talked to him before, but he's got odd hang-ups. There was, he's not, like...
I mean, it doesn't look like people should be out. There is stuff flying
I know,
around.
but Jim Cantori, the weather people aren't going to kill themselves. They know. But the thing is, the thing is that Concha totally loses it. These people are in media. They're doing media stuff that they've always done, but now he's like worried about it. He was on it with Howie Carr a few years ago, and he also lost it then. Howie was like laughing that about some dog that was lost or something, and Concha said, "That's not funny. You think it's funny to laugh at the lost dogs?" It's like, wow, dude, he's got a hair trigger when it comes to stuff. Okay, Darren Cunningham on Twitter says, "Sorry for the snort. You know what that is."
Are you getting sick again?
I've been just sick cooking for a while now. He says, "Did you report on the weigh-in today?" Yes, I feel like I got a bad report card today.
Well, you did lose weight.
I did lose weight. I don't think going on that Sunday bender with our friend, was that Sunday or Monday? Saturday. That Saturday bender in Newburyport with our friends probably was not a good idea. It threw all the timing off. Plus, there's a lot of stuff that was probably. That was, yes. I think that might have thrown the whole operation.
But you did lose weight, and you did lose 0.2% of body fat.
Yeah, well, I know, Alice, but that's not a lot. So I am down a total now of 29 pounds, and Alice is down. Well, you actually
14.
gained a pound, but you lost fat.
Yes,
So
I gained a pound.
What's that? What did you gain?
Water.
Hair? Oh, I see. Okay, don't
Water.
say anything more that might be upset.
So, but they said I should drink more electrolytes. But I gained a pound, but I lost more than a pound.
Why is it hot in here? Can you open the?
I don't know. Do you want me to get up right now and do something?
We
about
can't
it?
open that
No,
window.
I can't.
Damn it, Alice! Since when do you hold your own like this?
You can deal with it.
You've become very uppity since
I'll
you've
do it
lost
after
weight.
the show. I'm in the middle of talking.
Okay.
So I gained a pound, but I lost more than a pound of body fat. So once I drink some more electrolytes, I'll actually be down like a lot more. So
Yeah.
So it's fine. But yeah, and I've lost actually overall, I've lost 13.6 pounds, but I've lost 13.8 pounds of body fat. So like it's more than 100% like body fat that I lost. I've gained some muscle or whatever. So Dave in the chat says that the damage was scheduled for 36 hours ago, and he's just getting wind and rain, no biggie. So we're glad he's safe.
Hey, I'm sending you something right now I want you to look at. Somebody just sent this. They're listening in. Somebody just sent this. It's Ned Lamont at a dance. You need to watch this immediately.
Right. Are you going to play it?
Yeah, I've tweeted it too, so you guys can see it.
Okay.
Can you watch it?
You need me to watch it right now?
You need to watch it immediately. Guys, you watch this. I just tweeted this. Oh my God. Are you seeing this?
Yes, I'm seeing.
I just tweeted this out. This is the most horrific thing I have ever seen. There's a few viral clips of Ned Lamont dancing out there where he moves spastically. He moves as if he's being attacked like a horde of bees. I don't know, but he's been overtaken by the music, and this is not a good thing.
You would think that there would be some like politics consultant, like image consultant, who would have told him not to do that by now, wouldn't you?
Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't move can't do that. Are you seeing this?
I saw it.
This is very worrying for me, Alice. Oh my God.
It's almost as bad as the one of, who was it, Colbert dancing with Schumer?
Yeah.
That was really bad.
Oh, that was bad because it was, All right, Rudy, what's going on, man? Yeah, I see houses are moving there. What's going on? There's a clip of Nancy Pelosi being, okay, that I saw.
Paul in Florida said there was some looting also.
Okay, Rudy, is that your carport? Rudy's carport is hurting. My goodness. Here's Joe Biden. Get some direction from Jill Biden today.
You'll go down on this. Go down here on this.
What are you playing right now?
She's saying, you go this way. You go down this way, Joe. He's lost in the White House. It's fine.
Yeah, so the big thing with Joe Biden today is this video of him in Indiana. Is that where he is? Looking for this politician?
Oh, is that today? Really? That was that long ago, huh?
Yes, that was today. Can you play that?
Yeah, hang on one second. Give me a second.
So yeah, he's at this event to commemorate this whole thing about this Rep. Jackie Walorski.
Yep.
Who died in a car accident several months ago. And he, a couple months ago, released a statement about her dying. He signed a bill to name a VA hospital after her. Mm-hmm. So he's here on this thing about hunger and health. And this is what he said. Do you have it?
And so many of you know so much about this as well, and you're committed. And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this.
Oh,
I mean,
ugh.
You're in the state, like, and Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about this because obviously this is not a person who's in full mental health right now. He's
Partners
not
and
fully...
allies. Just one more quick follow-up because I'm trying to get my head around the response. If the late Congresswoman was top of mind for the president and her family was expected to be here and that's what he was thinking about, why was he looking for her? I'm not trying to be snarky here.
No, I mean, and I'm...
Between what you were saying and what he said there.
And again, I think people can understand. I think the American people out there who, watch the briefing from time to time, maybe at this moment, will understand when someone is at top of mind. And this was such an important event when we're talking about hunger, when we're talking about food insecurity, when we're talking about these champions, these congressional champions who were in the room, who have worked in a bipartisan way. We don't talk much about bipartisan actions that we see in Congress at this time. And as he was naming folks, she was on top of mind, and he understands and knew that he was going to see her family on Friday for this bill signing.
He was supposed to go, once again, the reason she's saying he was asking where she was is because he knew he was going to go meet up with her family to sign something that's in her honor to meet with her family because she died a couple months ago.
Right.
So if she's top of mind because she just died, then shouldn't he know that she's not going to be at the event? Wouldn't you think?
Oh,
I mean, it's pretty terrible. And this is not like a long time ago. This is like a couple months ago. And I don't know how you, especially when you're in the place to talk to her family about it specifically for that reason. You know what I mean? Like, you're not at some unrelated thing. But yeah, but this
I think it's all that unusual to have someone top of mind, especially as there's a big event, 2 big events today and also Friday that is going to occur. And so,
gaslighting can't be the only tool you have in a comms department. It's totally
normal. People often ask where people are who are dead
usually,
while at events to commemorate them after they die. That's very normal, a very standard thing to happen, not unusual at all. Everything is totally fine here.
It's like he picked the one person who most wasn't going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to see her family. They're going to honor her. They're going to celebrate her, and he will do a bill signing for this really critical, let's not forget, this critical, important issue for millions and millions of Americans across the country.
Oh, she doesn't look happy either. Oh, damn. I'm surprised that she doesn't just throw it in the towel.
And I think that she's living and in the room.
I don't find that confusing. I mean, I think many people can speak to sometimes when you have someone top of mind, they're a top of mind, exactly that. And it is also... I mean,
you might say their name by accident.
Right.
You might accidentally call somebody else their name if you're thinking of them, but you don't look around the room and go,
yes.
Oh, is Jackie here? I was expecting Jackie to be here. Has anyone seen Jackie? That would be an odd thing to do.
Yes. Yeah. Top of mind. That's some tough message.
I mean,
crafting.
To be fair, this isn't like a great situation that Karine has been put in.
No, but you've got the worst person trying to put a shine on the worst quote.
Context. It's not like it happened outside of context, right? It happened at an event where we were calling out the champions, congressional champions in particular, of this issue, this important issue when it comes to food insecurity, something that this administration has led on from the beginning of this administration, not just across the country, but also globally. You heard him talk about food insecurity last week at the UN and the investments that we have put forward as the United States of America and helping deal with that. Look, he was at an event you all saw, you all watched, which is why you're asking the question, right? Where he was calling out again congressional leaders, a bipartisan leadership that we have seen on this.
But most of them were alive that he was calling out, and that's the big difference. Is because they could wave back. One is a distance away under the ground currently.
Issue. And again, he's going to see her family in just 2 days.
Exactly. That's why it's weird.
Yes.
Press secretary.
He does know that she's not going to be there, right? Hopefully he didn't buy her a edible arrangement or anything.
She was on top of mind. I mean, that is not an unusual scenario there.
Karine, I have John Lennon top of mind just about every day, but I'm not looking around for him anywhere.
When you sign a bill for John Lennon as president, then we can have this conversation. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
These moments of confusion are happening with the reason.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, there are Americans are watching this and are having concerns. What do you say to that? This is a legitimate question. We need to have...
Ooh. Press corps in action.
Well, I mean, I think even the press corps doesn't like to be made total fools of.
Right.
And I think this is a situation where it's obvious that something was deeply wrong with Biden at this event.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you can only, it's sort of like with the Afghanistan stuff. It's like the press corps will let Biden and his administration and Anthony Blinken and everybody get away with a lot, but you can't look them right in the face on Friday and say that Afghanistan's definitely not going to fall to the Taliban by Monday and then have it fall by Monday and not have them ask the question. Like, I mean, he stood right in the room and was looking for somebody that he clearly knew because she was so top of mind that she had recently passed away. I mean, I don't understand how there's like no way to spin that. So the press is asking her, like, tell us what to say here because you're really making our job running cover for you extremely difficult.
Chip says on Twitter, the object is to get on base. Hit by pitch, walk, base hit, any way you can. Aaron Judge had a great game. Yeah, I guess he got on base 4 times. My goodness. What else we got, bro?
Have you seen the stuff about Lizzo and the flute?
Yeah, so what am I seeing? I'm seeing her... Okay, so
so
first I'm seeing her in concert. That one I've seen.
So the one in concert, so there's one of her there, I believe, at the Capitol as well.
Is that the U.S. Capitol?
Yes,
it doesn't
I
really
believe
matter.
so. The Capitol Police went with the flute to her concert to protect the flute. So this is James Madison's special crystal flute that has never been played by a person. So there was like this whole big thing that they were going to allow Lizzo to play it because she's a classically trained. You're going to yell at me if I say the word flautist, aren't you?
Jesus. Okay, so here's her in concert wearing an outfit that just really shows her gargantuan form.
Right.
It's crystal. It's like playing out of a wine glass. So be patient.
And she's twerking. So you can
Okay, she's
turn
twerking.
Yeah, so she's twerking. But the thing is, like, I have no problem with her being allowed to play it necessarily. So if you look at the other video I sent, the one of her, I believe, at the Capitol, I didn't look and see exactly where it was, but the Library of Congress has allowed her to play this, and she's, well, first of all, she's wearing clothes, which I think is probably appropriate.
They don't totally cover her. There's still some gut showing there, but whatever.
Well, she has pants on, so I'll take it. Like, if you're going to be, in videos featuring, like, an important artifact of the Founding Fathers, like, I think you should probably have pants on. That's just, I mean, my standards
First of all, I didn't know that
high.
James Madison had a 200-year-old glass flute.
Crystal flute.
First one, 200 years old. That would mean it was 18-something. Madison was alive?
I guess so. I mean, yeah, he's War of 1812, isn't he?
No, wait.
Isn't Dolly Madison who saved stuff from the White House in the War of 1812?
Yeah, but that would have been from...
That's 210 years ago. So he was president then, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
So, yeah. So anyway, he had this crystal special
I didn't know
crystal
about his crystal flute.
Nobody knew about his special crystal flute. I mean, I think it's cool.
I don't know why she has it.
Having some, like, I don't have necessarily a problem with the Library of Congress getting... I assume that that they're trying to like get kids interested in history in the Library of Congress and the artifacts of the Founding Fathers by like involving a contemporary person that they've heard of, and she's a natural fit for this because she does play flute.
Okay, let's listen to her play in the middle of the marble halls.
So you get the idea.
She's good.
She's very talented.
Yeah.
She's a great musician on the flute. And that's why I say, like, I don't necessarily have a problem with her being allowed to do this or, like, engaging young people in this way with their history and artifacts of their nation. As a matter of fact, like, I would have no problem with that. I don't love her having it at the concert with no pants on and twerking her bare butt.
And here's the thing is that...
With it.
Is that the twerking, being a huge fat person twerking, is a cry for help. She's acting as if that's...
I think you mean an important, empowering part of Black history.
I think she's acting as if that's an attribute. That's not. That's just her in lieu of an attribute. That's her because she's insecure. This is actually a talent.
Yeah.
Which puts her, makes me more angry because it puts her now in the large pile of pop stars who are actually talented, and I hate that. Like Timberlake actually is good at everything, and even Justin Bieber can like play piano.
Well, yeah,
and stuff.
that's how he like got famous, was doing stuff on YouTube.
Right, and like now her, and now I think even Harry Styles knows how to play stuff. And I saw the guys from the Jonas Brothers the other day, and like they're good at stuff. It's like, damn it, it makes it harder to hate them when they actually are talented.
Well, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I find it it is frustrating when people who put out a persona as being dumb and idiotic all the time actually are like really, really good at things and like choose not to lean into that. It just seems odd to me. But Morgan says fat musicians are better.
Well, Pavarotti, although maybe he's not a musician, he's a singer. He was the best. He was a fat. Other than fat musicians, I don't know. I don't know any classical people who are fat. Who do we have for fat musicians? I guess the lead singer for the Dead, Jerry Garcia, was fat. I guess he was okay. I don't know if that's true. That lady who played the piano, who played the guitar and sang the blues, I think she was kind of fat, and she was good. I think a lot of blues people are fat, and they are good at music. Other than that, my grandmother used to often worry about Roy Clark's weight. Do you know Roy Clark, Alice?
No.
You wouldn't know Roy Clark. There's no reason for you, because you weren't in my grandmother's house in 1978. He was like one of the main hosts of Hee Haw. Do you know Hee Haw?
Dave says Meatloaf.
Yeah, but is he a musician? I guess he plays the piano. I guess, does he? He certainly was fat. There's no doubt about that. And Elvis got fat, although I don't know if he was a great musician. Good singer. Mama Cass, once again, good singer, not a great musician. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. I'm not feeling that that's true at the moment. As a matter of fact, the musicians seem to
Morgan says Garcia and John Popper. I don't know who that is.
Popper lost his fatness, I think. Didn't he become Yeah, it's Blues Traveler.
Oh, okay.
You know them?
I think I've heard of them, yeah.
They used to feature a huge fat lead singer who I don't think he's fat anymore. I think he either did the surgery or just got thin somehow. I don't think so. Do you know that Nixon was a classical pianist?
Did not know that.
He was. I think so was Eisenhower might have been.
Jason says Biggie. I'm not sure what instrument he played, Jason.
I think also a flautist, as a matter of fact. Biggie. God.
Tom Shattuck.
I'm not a great musician. I am a fat, though. There's no doubt about that. But I'm great musician adjacent. You know,
How are you adjacent?
I know. I've known some great musicians. I've known some naturals who are just so good. Yeah. What else we got, Alice? Oh, do we have to do the chat? The fat chat?
Why don't you see if there's any chat?
Oh, we got to go to the chat. It's funny. The signal's a little weaker today. We got to turn this baby up for tomorrow. It won't. By the time you guys listen to it, it won't be, because a lot of times I can. What do I do to them? Compress. Yes. Why do you have an attitude when you say it? Like
I didn't have
like
an
I
attitude.
borrowed a word from you, and I always stiff you when I borrow words from you. Dink. Hey, let us know how you're doing, brother, if you're in Florida today. It looks pretty damn rough. And I don't like talking to Rudy today, who's down there. Or was it Rudy? Who was I talking to? I forgot who I was talking to. Anyway, he said that they were supposed to get the biggest part of the slamming at 8 p.m. And like
Aretha Fats Domino.
Oh, Fats Domino,
is, what's his name? The trumpet player?
Me cry.
Louis Armstrong?
Yeah, he's great. Satchmo, he was great. Yeah, all that. Louis Armstrong, I'll make him number one. You know him, right?
Yeah, he's one of the best musicians ever.
Well, he's just a great singer, too. Hello, Dolly. What a Wonderful World. All right, here we go.
So the mascot of the school that I'm working for is a unicorn. I just wish we had a little more of a intimidating mascot.
Yeah.
Maybe like a groundhog or something, or a possum. A unicorn? That's not intimidating at all.
No, a unicorn is for like 6-year-old girls. It's like My Pretty Pony. Come on.
I asked the principal if I could get a shirt of the unicorn with blood on its horn. He promptly said no.
He should have said nay, right, Alice? No?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it? Like
You should have said name. I was unfreezing my
Eastern European
camera.
humor is top notch.
I'm sorry. No, I like your unicorn story. Although, actually, like, unicorns could be considered sort of intimidating because, you know, in some translations of the Bible, there's the word unicorn. Like, it's in there. And actually, it's a mistranslation of a thing about the bull of heaven, which is, like, a thing about pagan gods, the divine masculine, Zeus, or, you know, take your pick of which pagan god you worship.
When are you reviving the old 1570 project, Alice?
I know.
And when are you going to do a Substack?
I mean, I'll do it tonight. I'll stay in this room after we finish this show, and
stay
I
in
will
this
do
room?
this Substack, and I'll work on that, and I won't come out until it's done. How's that sound?
Even to this day, I find Sally Field to be the villain in Mrs. Doubtfire. All I did.
I don't like movies with guys in drag. I don't like that. With Robin Williams doing that, I don't like that. I don't like Pierce Brosnan not just playing a very handsome man, and he played kind of a bonehead in that. I know I've never seen the whole thing. I dislike it. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Sometimes when I go to a restaurant, I ask the server how good the toilet paper is in the bathroom.
That's you're more likely to get an actual answer if you ask that question than anything else.
Hey, Tom and Alice, Mike and Groveland here.
Hey, Mike. Mike and Groveland, right down the street. I was in Groveland 4 times today. 4 times. They've ripped up half of that parking lot where the Market Basket is. That Dunkin' Donuts is being rehabbed. There's a lot going on in Groveland, Alice. A town that I didn't know existed
That's
until 4
Haverhill,
years ago.
though, I think, technically.
Oh, Haverhill. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think once you cross the river, it's Haverhill.
Oh, makes sense.
Hey, Tom and Alice, Mike and Groveland here.
Hey, Mike.
I can confirm that Pentucket High School has changed their mascot name from the Sachems to the Panthers. It's a fitting nickname due to all the recent Panther attacks in the area.
It's true.
Apparently, the choosing this nickname was put out to the quote-unquote community, including all the kids in any Pentucket regional school. So this is what you get for a nickname when you leave it up to a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds. Anyways, guys, love the show as always. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that.
Thank you so
Victor.
much. Yes,
Yeah.
of course, Melrose picked the Red Hawks.
Yeah.
And then immediately had to backtrack and unpick the Red Hawks because it turns out that that's actually a Native American tribe name.
Right. Yeah. And the Panthers, it's so great. It's like, so, okay, pick an animal that you can find just 11 states away. And we'll make
Do
that.
they even have them there?
I mean, this whole period
Do
has
they
to
have them on this continent?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess they used to, yeah.
This whole like period is such a laughing stock. I mean, but we will know. You will see the timeline of when we changed all the names because we were so prosperous and had it so good that we had to make up adversity in Boogeymen and claim that they embodied these symbols because we didn't deserve to have them because these symbols were representations of people that we were mean to. And we were mean to everybody. And now I can feel good about my Range Rover. God, it's monotonous.
They asked Corinne Jean-Pierre about that, too, about the Atlanta Braves, right?
Yeah, I think we played that.
Was that the team? I guess we did, yeah. Or I don't know if you did on your show or we did it here. It's all blurred together, honey.
But she said it's important that Indigenous voices being on that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, and if they're owners of the team, then I would say so. If not, it's not important.
Speaking of which, by the way, remember they changed Green M&M and made her not sexy?
Yeah, but I don't love the story, but yes.
I know you don't. But they're now bringing in Purple M&M, but not as an M&M, just as a character in the M&M thing. And so there was like a big thing about this today. Like it's a news story that they're bringing in Purple M&M, which is a fake thing. There's not going to be purple M&Ms in your package of M&Ms. This whole thing is like in imaginary M&M land.
I'd like everybody involved in this story and the publication of it and the press release distribution of it to be dead.
So the rep from the company that they were talking to about this said, "We've heard for a long time that purple is certainly a consumer favorite, but the brand is focusing on the characters rather than the actual edible candies." You know what? Do they know that they're in the selling candy business not the characters, that they're supposed to be able to make edible characters. So, and then they went on to talk about the green M&M's go-go boots that went away, and green M&M now wears sneakers, and that people want the go-go boots back. And she said, so will the go-go boots ever make a comeback? Wang answered slyly, you never know.
Alice, I'm going to go scorched earth if you continue with this. Please
Can I just say what my guess is what that means? Do you think they're going to let the green girl M&M wear the go-go boots again? I think they're going to have a boy M&M wear
I would
the
rather
go-go
be
boots.
raped by a silverback than spend one more second of my life ever talking about this. No offense. I apologize if that was too much.
I think they're going to have a boy M&M character wear the go-go boots now.
Okay.
I bought a burgundy house in the Hollywood Hills with a truckload of $100,000 bills. Man came by to hook up my cable TV. We settled in for the night, my baby and me. We
Dedication, Justin. Just dedication. Man, we don't have the outro music anymore.
Are we done, though?
Yeah. Why did you have to end on the M&Ms?
I like the M&M story. I think the company is psychotic. They're crazy.
I'm going to spend the rest of the day listening to a fat person play the flute.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, people, on the live stream. If you want to join us on the live stream, you can do that on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/burnbarrel. You get extra content for $5 a month, and you can join live streams for $10 a month. And you can always reach us for free on the chat. That is at burnbarrelpodcast.com. You can leave messages by pressing the red chat button. You can talk to us on social media at you can at Burn Barrel Pod on Twitter, Facebook.com/Burn Barrel Podcast. And what else can you do? You can email us, burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com. That's all good places.
Everyone was not fighting my octopus.
Sally, James!
And I hate him.
No, don't hate anybody.